What you represent to them is freedom.
What the hell's wrong with freedom, man? That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what it's all about, all right. But talking about it and being it, that's two different things. I mean, it's real hard to be free when you are bought and sold in the marketplace.
The film Easy Rider is an undisputed cinematic landmark, often credited with igniting the new Hollywood movement of the 1970s. This counterculture classic starred Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda, who also co-wrote and co-produced the film. However, the volatile relationship between these two icons would ultimately lead to a lifelong feud, culminating in Hopper banning Fonda from his funeral in 2010. Let's unravel this complex story by exploring the film's creation, its cultural impact, and the personal animosity that overshadowed their shared triumph. In the late 1960s, America was in turmoil. An Easy Rider captured the zeitgeist like few films before it. Hopper, Fonda, and screenwriter Terry Southern set out to tell a story of two free-spirited bikers. Wyatt, played by Fonda, and Billy, played by Hopper, who smuggled cocaine from Mexico to Los Angeles and used the profits to fund a motorcycle journey across America. The film's tagline, "A man went looking for America and couldn't find it anywhere," encapsulated its exploration of freedom, disillusionment, and societal intolerance. The journey takes Wyatt and Billy from the open highways of the Southwest to communes, small-town America, and finally, the chaos of Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Along the way, they encounter hostility from the establishment and meet George Hansen, played by Jack Nicholson, a small-town lawyer who joins their quest. Nicholson's performance was so compelling, it earned him an Academy Award nomination, cementing his rise to stardom. The production of Easy Rider was as tumultuous as its storyline. Dennis Hopper, in his first directorial effort, was notorious for his volatile temper and drug-fueled paranoia. The budget was a modest $400,000, but Hopper's insistence on authenticity often came at a cost. Real drugs were used during filming, including the marijuana smoked in the campfire scenes. Hopper's paranoia led to constant clashes with crew members, some of whom secretly recorded his tirades and sent the tapes to the production company to explain the mass resignations. Fonda and Hopper's dynamic wasn't any smoother. As co-producer, Fonda repeatedly tried to have Hopper removed from the project, even before filming began. Hopper, in turn, felt Fonda undermined him throughout production, setting the stage for a feud that would last decades. One memorable behind-the-scenes incident occurred during the film's iconic cemetery acid trip sequence. Hopper pushed Fonda to channel his real-life pain by speaking to a Madonna statue as though it were his mother, who had died by suicide when Fonda was just 10 years old. Although reluctant, Fonda delivered a raw, emotional performance that became one of the film's most haunting moments. Ironically, Hopper himself became emotional while directing the scene, reportedly coming close to tears. The improvisational nature of the film extended to its production process. Hopper and Fonda reportedly began with little more than a 12-page treatment, leaving much of the dialogue and action to be developed on the fly. This approach led to moments of brilliance, but also chaos. For instance, Hopper demanded complete control over the footage, refusing to trust cinematographer Barry Feinstein. This mistrust escalated into a physical altercation, during which the two men brawled and accidentally burst into a room where Fonda was in bed with co-star Karen Black and singer Tony Basil. The lack of a structured script allowed for spontaneous magic. Jack Nicholson's iconic UFO monologue, delivered while his character is drunk by the campfire, was largely ad-libbed. Hopper kept Nicholson thoroughly stoned during the scene, leading to genuine laughter when Nicholson fumbled his lines and exclaimed, It would be devastating." Despite this chaotic approach, Nicholson's professionalism shone through, cementing his status as a breakout star. The film also pioneered the use of pre-recorded music instead of a traditional score. Hopper personally selected tracks from artists like Steppenwolf, Bob Dylan, and Jimi Hendrix, creating a groundbreaking soundtrack that became inseparable from the film's identity. Licensing the music was no easy task. Hopper and Fonda had to screen the film for each band to gain approval. The tight budget meant each band was paid just $1,000, but their contributions elevated Easy Rider into a cultural time capsule of the 1960s. Hopper's creative vision extended to the film's cinematography, which broke conventions by using natural lighting and lens flares to capture the rugged beauty of America's landscapes. The visual style added to the film's authenticity, making it feel like a true road trip rather than a Hollywood production. Despite the film's eventual success, the relationship between its creators soured further. Hopper claimed sole credit for the screenplay, dismissing Southern's contributions entirely. Fonda, who had conceived the original idea, was equally adamant that his input was pivotal. Their disagreement spilled into legal battles, with Hopper suing Fonda multiple times over profits and credits. Southern, meanwhile, maintained that he only allowed Fonda and Hopper to share writing credit as a favor, a decision he later regretted. One of the most infamous production challenges involved the custom-built motorcycles used in the film. Designed by African-American bike builder Ben Hardy, the 4 Harley-Davidsons were central to the film's rebellious image. However, 3 of the bikes were stolen during production, leaving the team scrambling to complete key scenes. The surviving bike, known as Captain America, was later restored and sold at auction for $1.35 million, becoming the most expensive motorcycle in the world. The film's controversial ending, where Wyatt and Billy are violently gunned down by local rednecks, almost didn't happen. The original plan had the characters sailing off into the sunset with their newfound wealth. But Hopper and Fonda ultimately decided on a darker conclusion to reflect the intolerance and hostility of the era. The final scene was shot weeks after principal photography wrapped, using stand-ins for the stolen motorcycles. Hopper and Fonda's feud escalated in the years following the film's release. Hopper once claimed that Fonda had deliberately withheld money owed to him, while Fonda accused Hopper of egomania. Their legal battles continued for decades, with one of Hopper's lawsuits against Fonda alleging that he had been cheated out of his rightful share of the film's profits. Despite these disputes, Hopper and Fonda occasionally appeared to reconcile in public. They even co-invested in a biker-themed restaurant in the 1990s. However, their relationship was far from repaired. Hopper's resentment came to a head during a 1994 appearance on The Tonight Show, where he falsely claimed that actor Rip Torn had been fired from Easy Rider after threatening him with a knife. Torn sued Hopper for defamation and won nearly $1 million in damages. Fonda, who had been present during the alleged incident, refused to back up Hopper's version of events, further deepening their rift. As Hopper's health declined in the late 2000s, Fonda made multiple attempts to reconcile. "I knew Dennis was dying, and I made many attempts to see him," Fonda later recalled, but he refused. When Hopper passed away in 2010, Fonda rented a private jet to attend the funeral in Taos, New Mexico, but was barred from entering the chapel. It was a final, symbolic act of rejection that encapsulated their fraught relationship. Today, Easy Rider remains a testament to the transformative power of independent filmmaking. Its impact on cinema is immeasurable, paving the way for auteur-driven projects and challenging the conventions of the Hollywood studio system. The film's raw exploration of freedom and its haunting conclusion still resonate with audiences, serving as both a cultural snapshot of the 1960s and a cautionary tale about societal divisions. Yet, the off-screen drama between Hopper and Fonda is a sobering reminder of how personal conflicts can overshadow creative achievements. Their inability to reconcile serves as a tragic footnote to a film that championed the ideals of freedom and unity. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think about the behind-the-scenes chaos of Easy Rider? Does the film's legacy outweigh the personal animosities of its creators? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.